all of a sudden, when I tried to go to court and legally get parenting time with my kids, all this is coming out the blue. Because before this, it was just minor things I was used to. Every now and then, she would kind of keep the kids.
All of this change has come because we are planning to move to Arizona.
You're both having what we would call legal hissy fits against one another. Good morning.
Good morning.
I have read the motion, Mr. Gillespie. Did you get a copy of that, Ms. Lopez?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Then I'll turn it over to you, Mr. Gillespie. You can tell me anything you want, add, highlight, accentuate. I've read it, so I got a pretty good handle on it already, but I'll turn things over to you.
Okay. Nope, nothing in addition I want to add to it. Just basically the time that I've been getting the kids. I just want to get it documented in the courts. That's just basically just trying to legally establish my parenting time. That's really it. Nothing too.
Okay. I have a question before. Excuse me. Do you both have like an agreement even following, and it's just not a court order, so that's why we're here? Is that somewhat what's going on, or there's just no agreements between the parties and we got to kind of start from scratch?
You asking me?
Yes.
Oh, it's like sometimes it's not an issue, and then sometimes it is, if that makes sense. Like I'll have them for weeks or months, same routine, and then we could agree to disagree on something, and then I can't get them for no explanation. I even asked my kids, like, hey, did you ask your mom if y'all come stay tonight when I get off work? And the kids say mom said no, or so I wait till next week, and then sometimes a couple of weeks go by, she'll let me get them again, and then so it's one of those type of things. That's why I just want to get it so I can be consistent, and because I don't know how to plan my days and my weeks,
Very important. Thank you. Ms. Lopez, your thoughts, please.
I disagree with everything Mr. Gillespie just said. He's a truck driver, and he's previously expressed that he's not able to have a set schedule because of his trucking. The only day that he's for sure in town are Wednesdays, and I do allow him to get the kids on Wednesdays. All of this change has come because we are planning to move to Arizona, so he's trying to stop that by setting parenting time. I was under the impression that we did have parenting time that rolled over from our consolidated case of 1307 or 030702. So from my understanding, that was the order of parenting time that was still in play.
Well, what happened is I'm assuming anyway, because I don't have any information to the contrary, since you're utilizing an 18 case number, that the 13 case has been consolidated into this one for enforcement purposes. And with that, at least according to what I found, the last parenting time order was the 8/27/18 parenting time, which was as previously ordered or written. Kind of hard to figure that out. According to the motion, the defendant father has exercised a regular schedule with the children during the week. And they put a pretty extensive schedule here, but obviously when there's not anything that appears to be written, it becomes a very difficult situation for both parents and as the kid gets older for the kids, because the schedule is there not only to make sure that Mr. Gillespie gets his time, but it's to make sure Ms. Lopez gets her time as well. And when the kids get older, it's a way that kids can somewhat count on when they're going to be at one parent's house and the other parent's house. Obviously, I have not, nor would I be able to weigh in on someone's possible move to Arizona. That would have to be done in the form of a motion. But what I can do is this, obviously, pursuant to Shade versus Wright, 291 Michigan Appeal 17, proper cause or change of circumstance has been shown because apparently the parties got either they're having trouble cooperating and communicating, and it just seems to constitute enough of a change of circumstance to revisit parenting. I believe the relevant best interest factors are found in MCL 722.23J because it diminishes each parent's ability to encourage a close and continuing parent-child relationship between the other parent and the minor child. That was set forth in a case unpublished, Bauman versus Hartman in 2015, not binding on this court precedentially, but certainly very persuasive. So I am going to reopen the issue of parenting time to take a look at it. I'm going to send that issue to the front of the court for an investigation and recommendation.
Okay.
This
Yeah,
is going to be my public service message to everybody. The courts in front of the court do not forward mail. So it's not enough to just change your address with the post office and call it good. You have to go down to the courthouse, 180 Ottawa, and or the court, which is at 82 Ionia, or call their respective places and make sure they have your correct contact information. Because this whole thing, it could get just blown out of the water if people don't have that correct information. They're going to first, after they meet with both of you, they're going to first try and see if they can't figure this out between you two. Two parents figuring things out is a lot better than one court. That's what they always say. But if they can't, then they're going to have you fill out a questionnaire, a whole list of people to talk to, and then they're going to make a report and recommendation to me that the parties can either accept, reject, have parts of it, not like parts of it, and try and come up with their own plan. So the question I have is, first to you, Ms. Lopez, are you working right now?
Yes, I am, Judge. I would also like to add something else.
I'm not sure I quite need that, but what do you want to tell me?
So you said that you were going to refer us over to friend of court for parenting time, but I did want to make you aware that we do have a motion to appear in regards to a personal protection order. I filed a personal protection order against Mr. Gillespie for threats made against my life. So we currently have a hearing set to that. So I'm sure.
You guys got a lot of court things going on.
I have a 6-minute.
Let me ask you this. What's prompted all this? So you guys go from nothing to now you're both having what we would call legal hissy fits against one another. So what happened that's got this whole case spun up?
What prompted me to file the personal protection order is last week on February 19th at 6:18, my daughter sent me a 6-minute audio of her in the car with Mr. Gillespie.
Okay, and I get it. I can't deal with that at this point.
Okay.
But the friend of the court does have protocols where they can respect whatever personal protection order issues are going on there. Okay.
So, it does involve my children as well, though.
All the way around, Ms. Lopez. But I will tell you this, just so you know, I'm not granting anybody permission to move to Arizona. Just so everybody knows this. Everybody's staying put until we get this all figured out. Mr. Gillespie, you've had your hand up. What you got on your mind?
Excuse me. I just want to say, first off, as far as the restraining order, and a recording. I have no idea what she's talking about. I did not consent to anyone recording anything. I don't know what she's talking about. This is brand new. I just heard this today. Didn't know
Yeah,
anything about
you might have a prosecutor's case, criminal case going on.
it.
I don't know.
That's what I'm starting to believe, because I don't know the law, but I don't know if a kid can consent to recording anything and it's not held in the court. I don't know. I'm gonna look into it, but I've never. It's all of a sudden when I tried to go to court and legally get parenting time with my kids, all this is coming out the blue. Because before this, it was just minor things I was used to. Every now and then, she would kind of keep the kids for her personal reason. You get used to that over time, but now it's threatening her life and all this. So now this is kind of weird, like an
But could
attempt
you
to try to.
imagine? Could you imagine this? Both of you, for whatever reason, being arrested for violating something, and then who's going to raise your kids?
Exactly.
That ought to
Exactly.
be interesting. I hope you both think of that while you're while we're meandering through here. But
I just want to say, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you. I just want to say one more thing. She said, as far as my inconsistency with my job, I'm a truck driver. I've been driving for 7 years. My first few years, of course, I was starting my career. I had to take low entry level jobs. With the last 2 or 3 years, I've got this experience now. I get better jobs. I'm in town every Tuesday by 4 or 5 o'clock. Kids get off the bus at 5. I pick them up from their grandmother's house at 5 o'clock, keep them overnights. I have it all in the text message, me saying I'm outside pulling up. So
I
it's
get it.
consistency. And then she's saying I'm only home Wednesday. I have show you in the texts that I'm picking them up on Tuesday, taking them to school Wednesday morning, picking them up Wednesday for school, taking them to school Thursday, all in the text messages. And I have a phone book of them. I just didn't want to go back that far. I just send you that many text messages.
I'm just going to tell this to you, Ms. Lopez, and anybody else who's on this call. A good way to get on my bad side is to attach a bunch of text messages to your motions or your stuff, because that infuriates me. I don't want to see these. I can't understand half of them. You can't read half of them. I don't, so that's
Understand.
a word for the wise going forward, okay?
Gotcha.
All right, the fee for that is $300. Got 2 working parents. The fee is split between the parties. The friend of the court, once again, does not forward anything, so make sure you get to the friend of the court and they have your correct information, and hopefully we'll get this done for you. The best way to get things done, though, is if the parties come up with their own agreement and sign something and put it in a court order, because you know them better than I do. I don't think I've ever laid eyes on your kids. They're probably great kids, but I don't know them. So you'll be hearing from the friend of the court shortly, but make sure they have your proper information. But you're all set with me both today. Have a good weekend, and you'll be hearing from them very soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.